Hi, my name is Terry Sofer, and I'm going to give you my speech for my public speaking class. The date is May the 26th, and the topic is, who am I? Who am I? I am a flower quickly fading, a wave tossed on the ocean, a vapor in the wind. Still, you hear me when I'm calling, and you catch me when I'm falling, and you tell me who I am. I am yours. That song I would love to be able to take the credit for, but I cannot. It was written by John Mark Hall from Casting Crowns. My story begins on a bus. Who I am and who I would turn out to be started sitting between two women on a bus. One woman had a conversation going already with herself, and another woman sitting on the other side of me had a long row of tattoos on her arm, I believe, were the victims of former bus rides. Sitting on the bus, holding a book, not reading it, just holding it, clenching it as if for dear life, wondering where I was going to go from here. Now, I knew where I was going on the bus and where ultimately my destination would be. But where would I be at a point in my life, at a certain stage of my life? I had no clue until I heard a voice. Yeah, I heard a voice. But the voice was telling me something that was completely unusual, totally unconventional, and absolutely out of my comfort zone. See, I had a speech impediment. I was born with a really, really bad stutter. And this voice was asking me to pray for one of the women. I thought to myself, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that, because having a conversation with me was almost painful. It was difficult for me to even to come up with enough words so that you would understand what it was I was trying to say. And then to ask me to do something like that with two strangers, in front of strangers. One woman, like I said, already was talking to herself, so she was obviously not the person that this voice was telling me to pray for. I turned quickly to the right and then back to focus on my book, realizing that voice was telling me to pray for the woman with the tattoos on her arm. How did I know that? She finally turned and looked at me and smiled. With that being said, that prayer, that day, on that bus ride, started a series of events, a chain of events that I could never create on my own and that I would never, ever try to duplicate again. But since then, God has used me to pray, to preach, and to teach the gospel of Jesus Christ. It is that calling that I begin with my brown bag display. Who am I? Begins with this book, the inspired word of God, of which he has called me to not only preach and teach, a pastor, but he's also called me to live this book. And so who I am is everything he said I could be, would be, and should be as I continue on my journey. Who I am is in this book, and without it, I would be nothing. But with it, I can certainly do all things. The other aspect of who I am is in this pencil. I am a creative person. I'm a writer, a director, a producer, a singer, a songwriter, and everything that I do centers around this pencil. He also inspires me to write things that I would not otherwise be able to write, to see things other people would not otherwise be able to see. And I write down my journey and I share it with people. So it is with that I finalize my brown bag by showing you the last thing that I am, and that's this bag. And whatever he wants to use me to do is what I will do. And whatever he wants to put inside of me, I will allow myself to be used to do what he has called me to do. So that is my brown bag speech. In conclusion, it starts out the way everybody's life starts out, completely and totally out of their own will and out of their own way. God had a purpose and a plan for my life, and he told me who I am. Thank you so much for being with me here today, and I pray that you were blessed.